decision in terms of having stood in front of the class for so many hours and watched the students and the expressions and the level of participation and the level of attentiveness and having graded the papers and gone through the review sessions so many times that I wanted to recognize a few students who had really excelled in different ways. Obviously, since we're talking about the classroom experience, my very first certificate I want to present to the student who just really achieved beyond any boundaries. It was such a delight because it made my job that much easier. All of the students worked hard, and all of the students did their best, I'm sure, in terms of the level of commitment to the class. But I had one young lady in the class who consistently just performed beyond any imaginable boundaries. As a matter of fact, Dr. L, I think when the class is taught the next time,
yeah.
I think she could teach the class.
Oh,
because she really did quite well with the course.
It was she.
You want to say she, right? Okay. But I have a certificate for superior academic performance presented to Ron Ali. She did an incredible job. And not only did she work hard and do well herself, but I'm sure with some of the groups, study groups and all, she helped her colleagues as well. So, thank you so much. I have another certificate because, as I mentioned, standing in front of this group for so many hours, you know, it's amazing what a professor can see that goes on in a classroom. Sometimes students think we're not paying attention or they're, you know, getting a little sidetracked or what have you. But there was one student in my class that maintained a level of focus that I've never seen before. Very attentive, very much on task, very in tune to everything that was going on, quite responsive, and just the focus and the commitment that you would love to see in any student. And for that reason, I have a certificate for Outstanding Focus and Commitment to Learning Award. And it's presented to Karen Masasa. Always so committed, always so focused, always on task. And even after we had long, busy weekends or days when I'm sure everybody's body was a bit tired, he was very alert and tuned in, just very much on top of things. So thank you. I have another certificate for a student who demonstrated a special kind of leadership in the class. You know, there are always theories about are leaders born or can you teach leadership? You know, the two schools of thought in business or in management. Can you really train a person or teach a person to be a leader? Or is a person born with certain leadership skills? And I don't really know the answer to that, but I do know that when you put a group of people together, it's not uncommon for someone to emerge as a leader. And so I decided to give an Outstanding Leadership Award. And you know, all of the students did the academic work, but I had one student that always volunteered, that always helped out. Hassan Mansour. Never shy about speaking out, right, class? Never reluctant to volunteer. Never shy about letting me know what his thoughts were. Even when we talked about students coming back, his point to me was, when all of the students, we asked the question, who would like to come back to the U.S. later? And all of the students raised their hand except one. And when I looked at Sam, I said, you don't want to come back? He said, I don't plan to leave. I don't want to leave. so whenever the class situation was, he was very clear at expressing himself and making it clear. But whenever I need a volunteer to go to the board or someone to do something like that, I could always count on him to volunteer. So I thank you. The fourth and final certificate that I'm presenting is to a student who, of course, did well from the very beginning, But at the very end of the class, I just saw a tremendous growth. I saw a tremendous growth in terms of not just getting the answer to the question, but a certain kind of excitement, and what we like to say is the light bulb goes off, like it's clear. I understand what's going on. So I saw one student in the class that started out very well and did the work, but in the end really came to life and became a part of what was going on, and the light bulb really came on in a very special way. And as a result, this student appeared to me to be highly motivated because he wanted to achieve academic success. So I have a certificate for highly motivated, that says for highly motivated to achieve academic success award. And Motaz? Very, very hard and with your classmates, but did quite a bit and demonstrated just a real passion for learning and understanding, a very special kind of excitement. And so we look at what happened with the students, but I almost forgot, but I have a small token too for Dr. Mona. Oh. This is a token, a small token of appreciation, because Dr. Mona would spend a lot of time with the journalism student, but when I called her pretty much at the last minute, she came to the class and had an opportunity to see the econ students through their review session this morning. She popped in periodically to check to make sure everyone was okay. Just a tremendous support. And I know when there were little issues, if there were health issues or whatever, she was always there for the students. So not only do I understand that Dr. Mona spent an incredible amount of time before we saw the students come to the cockpit, but a few weeks prior to the arrival, she worked pretty much non-stop, day and night, with processing and getting things straight. So for that, I don't think this whole program would have taken place at all had we not had a very strong and supportive force like Dr. Mona. So we thank you so much.
I have 4 awards also to give. The first one is highly motivated to achieve academic success. This was probably the most difficult one for me to decide on a particular individual, because I felt that many of you in the class deserved it. But I'll tell you, I eventually decided this award goes to Basma, guys. Eager and just ready to learn. I don't know the answer to Dr. Gregory's riddle about leadership either, but there was one individual who, for whatever reason, was consistently a strong leader in my class, and that was Muhammad Anwar. The third award goes to outstanding focus and commitment to learning. And this goes to someone who took me a while to recognize her presence. And then after a couple days, she was always there with her hand up. And then I saw the result of her very disciplined study and the scores on her quizzes on her exam. And this goes to Dina Hagazi. Involved a combination of learning concepts, which you were quizzed and tested on, and a more practical, creative dimension, which involved you in creating online stories and web pages. And the final award goes to the individual who seemed to excel at both of those things, and particularly in the creative work in the class. showed an aptitude for being able to create a website that was visually pleasing and sophisticated. I think this person should be hired immediately by anybody in Egypt who is developing a presence on the web. And this award for superior academic performance goes to Maged Seyed.